I got to the best shape of my life. I lost 40 pounds of body fat and got jacked, all without tracking a single thing. So there's a lot of diet information out on the internet. It's everywhere. It's all, you know, basic stuff like track your macros, be in a calorie deficit and track your calories. All of that is absolute bullshit. And if it wasn't, then a lot more people would be a lot more fit. So what those things never take into account is that we are humans with actual biological needs. Like we have hundreds of functions, chemicals, hormones all throughout the body, and they all work together to, build the person that you are. So when you hear about tracking calories, tracking food, it's all based on numbers. And numbers have no correlation to how your biology actually operates. So we have these biological needs, these nutrients, vitamins, minerals. We have chemical reactions all throughout our body, body functions, rhythms, cycles, hormones. All of those things you have to take into account, and you're not going to get it based on fucking numbers. Sorry to put it to you, but that's just how it is. And, the best way to lose body fat, in my opinion, is eating whole foods that actually grow and live in the wild or out in nature. I mean, those are the best things that we can put inside of our bodies. And the food nowadays, all of it, like 70% of the food in grocery stores, all comes from factories. It's all refined food. It's made up with all these chemicals, these ingredients we can't even pronounce, and then it's normalized that we put these things in our body. Like it doesn't make sense at all. And when I realized this and like that flip script or that flip switch for me, it made everything like so much easier. It blew my mind. Like how so I was addicted to these foods, right? I had cravings for them. Um, couldn't live a day without eating sweets or pasta, rice. Hell, I mean all this manufactured food they create it so that you keep coming back and you stay on those foods. And when I was on those foods, it wasn't a surprise. I mean, now it wasn't a surprise that I looked my worst. I had no fucking energy, no drive, and my testosterone was low as shit. And I didn't realize it at the time, but now it all makes sense as to why. So these processed foods that they're making, they're putting in things that I mean, we have no idea what they are. Like we can't even pronounce them or spell them. Like it's ridiculous, right? So the best way to get out of that cycle and to move on to better foods, better food choices is to look at what you're eating and try to understand it. Look at the box. How many ingredients can you read? Like when it's in your pantry, how long does it stay there? Like does it go bad in a week or does it go bad in a couple years? Like like the preservatives, yeah, they'll keep it alive for a couple years. So like all those things play a factor into how you put it in your body and how it stays in your body and what it does in your body. So when you take into account those, those little aspects, you start to see like, oh, okay, like yeah, calorie deficit, you're gonna weigh less, yeah, because you're eating less. But that's about it. I mean, you can you can lose weight and still look the exact same. You're just a smaller version of yourself. So to really transform that and to really, lose actual body fat and build lean muscle for like a jacked and shredded physique, you need to change the foods that you eat. And that is plain as day. So what I did when I was, coming off of these foods because well, that's another thing is it takes a little bit to get off of these foods. And that's why people have cravings that they can't beat. They have this constant hunger. So how to come over or how to overcome that is by looking at these foods. Okay, this doesn't serve me. So I have to remove it. I have to find a substitute for it. We all have to eat, right? So what's going to be the healthiest, substitute for that in a whole food, aspect? So look at the foods that you're eating. Are they processed or are they natural? Cut out the processed foods and, focus on what your body actually needs. So things that tie into fat loss, as far as the body is concerned, is testosterone, hormones, your cortisol, your gut health, your metabolism, your sleep wake cycle. All of these things tie into your fat loss. So if they're not, optimized and you're not eating for those, then it's going to be so much harder to actually lose the body fat and get in shape. So what you want to focus on is, yes, prioritize protein. Lean meat protein is the most important thing for a man and his body. The top number one. Eat a lot of vegetables, eat a lot of fruits, and eat clean carbs. So a lot of these carbs today are processed, and they have these additives. There's how they make these foods is they strip them down, to their bare minimum. And then they enrich the foods with, added nutrients. But are they really like nutrients? So when you see rice and you look at the back of it and it says enriched, that's them adding these chemicals that give it more nutrients because they took the original nutrients away. So you have to pay attention to that when you're eating carbs. So you want to focus on, sweet potatoes, quinoa. Some rices are good. And I mean, you kind of want to keep it at that in the beginning. And then once you actually do get lean, you do get fit, you can kind of expand that a little bit more to, potatoes. Like, I like to eat fries, I'm not gonna lie. Still eat them. And I can do that because my body can actually handle those and use them in the right way. And then second thing is strength train. This is another important aspect of a man's life. The stronger your muscles are and the more muscle you have, the easier it's going to be to lose any body fat. And, your metabolism is going to speed up. That's what, muscle is. It's a metabolic engine. It's not just for like looks, vanity. You see veins popping out. It's none of that stuff. Muscle is like an organ that cycles your food and uses it for the energy that you actually need for the day. And the third thing is, and a lot of people skip out on this and completely neglect it. I can't talk, but sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day. This is actually where your body changes. Like, your body has so many cycles, throughout the night, that if you skip out on one, say you get like 6 hours, your hormones are going to be off. Your appetite's going to be out of control. You're not going to feel as motivated to hit the gym. And, you're just going to be dragging through the day with no focus or energy. So sleep 7 to 8 hours a day is going to set your metabolism. It's going to set your hormones, increase your hormones. Testosterone is made during sleep. Growth hormone is made during sleep. So you want to take advantage of those by sleeping as much as you can so you can build those as much as you can. And then the last thing is just daily habits, just moving. Like, the more you can move your body, the more your body has to make energy and use that energy. And usually when you're walking and, doing low cardio activities, that's when your body actually uses the body fat. So all the cardio that you like to do, or if you do any, that's not tapping into fat. It's tapping more into the carbs that you eat. So the more you can walk and, increase your daily activity, take the long route, take 10-minute walking breaks after lunch at work, that's going to help you to use that energy and to move it and to actually, consume that energy that your body needs. And then the last thing is another important aspect, is number 4. So supplements. So many people are deficient in basic nutrients. And this is another reason why it's really hard to lose body fat and get in shape. So our bodies need vitamins, minerals, antioxidants to operate at its best. And, when you're deficient in these nutrients, your body is going to have just a harder time, having energy, building muscle, and losing body fat. So the key nutrients that, a guy needs is vitamin D. This is going to set up your testosterone. It's a building block for testosterone. And, you're going to have more strength, more energy. Your mood is going to be better. So vitamin D, vitamin D3 is, one of the most important supplements that you can take. And then the next one is magnesium. Magnesium is it's a little bit different. So this one helps with muscle recovery, energy metabolism, and stress. Those things, especially stress, a lot of guys are stressed out. Like life is hard sometimes. Like that's normal. So you want to minimize the stress because stress actually keeps your body in a fat storage state. So when you minimize the stress that you have on your body and on your body's going to be able to relax more and then use the energy, that it produces. Then the next thing is zinc. Zinc is another important one for testosterone building and, muscle growth. It also helps with, mental aspects of, the drive and, your motivation to hit the gym and, build yourself. So those are the things that, I've used to lose body fat, lose 40 pounds of body fat, and get into the best shape of my life. And all without tracking. I didn't track a single thing. I just focused on strength training, eating a whole food diet, having my supplements, and getting sleep. Those are the four key things that I focused on to get into the best shape of my life.